Hello everyone, this is Arindam and this video is continuation of data wrangling. This is the last topic as I said that I'll be covering flattening nested JSON data, right? So I'm just going to speak about the same topic in this video. So let's start. So JSON is a data format, right? So you will encounter this when you're calling APIs or doing web scraping. So the JSON data format, you would see there are arrays and dictionaries, and you have nested dictionaries basically. So dictionaries within dictionary, right? These are nested dictionaries. So all these become difficult to analyze, and it's pretty complex because of their format. So in such cases, we go ahead and use nested JSON, or you can call JSON normalized that we call. So for this, I have got, I'll show you how you can, fetch, data through the API, right? I have got this open. I have logged in. I have an account. So if you do not have an account, you will have to create an account, and you will find many such websites which provide API keys, right? So and you can just go ahead and click on API key and then you can get it. Okay, so also just make sure if you're working with the APIs for the very first time, then uh, do not share your API key with anyone. Also make sure that if you're using a particular API key, uh, you know, and you're saving it somewhere, make sure to just remove it or delete it, because there can be consequences if your API key is misused, and if someone else uses your API key, so you can get into trouble, right? So yep, that is it. And yes, let's get started. I'll show you how you can uh, you know go ahead, fetch the data, and how we can use you know normalize or flatten the nested JSON data, right? So all right, let's get started. So all right guys, as I said that I am logged in, and then if I click on get API key, I'll get my API key. Okay, and then I can just go ahead and note it down here for the time being. Okay, and then if you go back over here, okay, and then you know you can note down your API key in a notepad or a note, and then go on documentation that you see over here, and you'll see authentication. Click on it, your API key will be mentioned over here. Again, your everything will be shown here. So in this, what you can do is the type of response that you want. Example response is mentioned here. If you want, like, because this news API will basically give you, if you put in a particular topic, let's say Bitcoin, then it will give all the relevant news, for a particular date, from a time period, right? So it'll give you all that option, and then it'll be something similar to this format. So this is what is called your JSON format. All right. So we need to normalize or clean this data that we are seeing here, right? So now I would say that it depends how or what kind of news or article you want. Let's say if I just want, uh, let's see, sources. What's there in sources? Mm, I think I'll go ahead with everything. Okay. So what you can do is you can just copy this, just go through all these things once. Okay. And then just copy this. Okay. You can just mention this as URL for time being. Okay. Date that we see over here, we can actually go ahead and remove this. It's not that required. Okay. Let's see. Right. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead with this one. This one, do you see? It's an authentication. This is better. So I'll get two options. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Let me move to my Jupyter. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So in this, what's great is uh, you will not only see how you will clean the JSON data. Along with that, I'll also demonstrate how you can actually fetch the data through the API key, right? So let me just go ahead and start writing the code so that you can have a look into it. All right. All right. So just we'll also discuss about each library. You must be knowing pandas, the basic. Then this one you can say is the library. Uh, Very important. Without this request library, you cannot fetch data from URL. The URL that we had copied. So I would say, uh, yeah, and the JSON library. Okay, let's go ahead. Run this. Perfect. So done. Now, next thing you need to do over here is API key that we have copied. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it from my notepad. There we go. API URL. All right. I'm gonna use the second one. All right. You see this API key over here. So it's already written. So, but you know, I'm just giving an option for anyone to change this API key, or if I could have just put an input uh, function, right, so that it asks the user to input their UPI key and automatically put it over here. So I won't do that right now. I'll just go ahead and you know use this and see if that works. All right, and for this Q keyword, right? Let's see what we can do. Just give me one. I'm just gonna go ahead and change this. Uh, yeah, let's go and get this. Let's go to compute. Maybe let's see what works. All right. hope this works. Okay. Now we need to see this is okay. Response. If we are getting response 200 or not. Let's go and run this. Okay, I'm just gonna say, let's see, Bitcoin. What do you see? Okay, I don't know if I'm getting response 200 or not. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and do is print and response. So if I'm getting response 200, wonderful. Oh, okay, 401. Looks like we have some issue over here. Just give me a moment. Let me check what the issue is. All right, so I think I was not able to figure out what mistake I did, but now I'm able to. You know what I should not have done is I should have let these be there. No, let me show you. Now instead of giving key over here, I'm going to give keyword over here and API key, and let this be the same. And this goes like this and this. I'll remove my API key from here and go to API. All right, perfect. Let's run this and see if that helps. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Right. Now, let's keep moving ahead. Now, we want our raw data, right? Because we got response 200. Now, I'm going to use response or JSON to give us the data. So this .json, it will convert the API response to Python dictionary actually, right? So now when I go ahead and run this, okay, why is that? Oh, Bitcoin G. Okay, that's it. Islam. But that. All right, this is what we wanted. We have got a lot of information over here through this. Right? That's it. And there is something we call. So this is our completely raw data that we have, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to clear it a little bit so that we can understand, isn't it? So what can we understand from here? Author Andrew J. Hawkins, title is this, motives, last showroom protest planned for this weekend, description, what's up with description, and then we have got the URL doing it. So it's basically you can see all these things are in format Python dictionary. But again, we need to sort it a little bit so that it's readable, right? So there is something we call as pretty data, right? So there is no function like pretty data, but at work we call it a pretty data, right? So it's known as dumps, and then so use this dumps basically, so make this particular dictionary a little bit more readable, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead put raw data and indent. Wait, okay, let me do one thing. Let me just run this for you like this so that I can actually explain you. Let me see if that works. Nothing, right? So if I give, you see, little better, right? So it's indent does nothing but giving the spaces or indent, which we call indentation, right? for a better readability. So if I give over here indent 3, it will be much more better, I believe. Yep. Still scope of betterment. All right. Yep. Looks way better. So you see this? Uh, let's ignore this. Total results, what we have got is 13,737. And then let's start from here, articles. Then within this, we have again source, ID, name. I believe this is the publisher or the newspaper or the news channel. And then the author, title, description, URL to read this, URL to image, published at what time. This is 14th of February, somewhere around 3 p.m. I don't know which time zone it is, so okay, whatever. So content, right? So these are the things that we have. This is the one news content that we have for when we search for Tesla. This is another. So how can we have them? These as column, okay? All these as column, and these into the rows, right? How we can do that? So if you bear with me, I'll show you how we can actually do that. So let's get going. So we create an empty list over here, right? And then just wait and watch, and you'll get a beautiful output. Now in this, I would say the best way to figure out what you want to do with this is copy it from here to here and till this point, okay? And then go to your notepad, all right? Go to here, okay? I will need this. All right. Now we need source, right? We need source name, source name. So we will need to first go to source and then to the name. Okay, author name, we can just directly go ahead with it, right? And then title. So let me show you back this. It's source. Okay, my bad if I'm typing. Yeah, this is correct. Source. Is it in small? Yep. Yeah. What else do we want? Title, description, right? publish that. I just need the time. Okay, perfect. Cool. Alright, let's run this. Fingers crossed. Oh, articles. My bad. Oh, it went through. Perfect. Right. See, we have the data that we want. Right. Now we need to convert this data into a data frame. Right. So let's go ahead and try this. See if that helps. Oh, no, it has not. It's some issue, something that we are missing. Data. Okay. Okay. I think everything is good, right? Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't see that. See, I was lost checking these over here that I didn't check anything over here. So see, finally, we have got our data. Looks good, isn't it? Now, you know, these steps and these steps, what if I tell you that everything, all of these will be done in just a single line? So this is the actual or the orthodox way of doing it, of how you fetch your data, right? But what if I told you this can be done in one single line, right? So let's go. Let me show it to you. So this was the df that I assigned it over here, right? So let me go ahead and should I go ahead and rather do it somewhere over here so that it's easy for to understand. So raw data till raw data, it's gonna be all same. Okay, it's from here that things gonna change, right? So let me just add, and because I have already assigned df, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and uh, right, because we call it normalizing JSON data, right? So that's why I'm just gonna go ahead and put df underscore normal, right? Now what I'll be doing is I'll be using over here raw data, okay, and then if I run this, let's see what I'm gonna get. Most probably it's gonna throw an error, but let's see. All right, see what we have got. I ran raw data, okay, it just gave raw data, but what does it give me? It gives me this. zero status, total results, and article. Okay. Okay, so this is something that we are getting. Status, okay. This has column, okay. And then articles column we are getting, but under articles, this is the whole thing that we have, right? So what we need to do over here is if I just go ahead and mention articles, okay, and then run it, and here we go. We have everything: author, title, description, URL to image. So here, how many you know rows did we get? 97 rows and 5 columns. Okay, and we are getting 97 rows and 9 columns. So because we were selective about our columns over that time, but here we are getting all the columns, right? And there's one more parameter over here. So if you see the source.id, okay, so generally if you have to in future fetch this column, it'll throw an error. So you go ahead and either you can go ahead and give a space. I'll show you how what will happen in that case is let's say let's not give a space, okay, and then run it. So there's, you see, dot is gone, right? If you give a space and run it, you see what we get. So it's always advised to go ahead with underscore. It's always good. So it's easier for you to call these columns next time whenever you're working, right? So yeah, this is how you can basically call just do all these things in one single step. This is basically your flattening of nested JSON data. This is what we call flattening of nested JSON data. Or you can even use these steps as well, but this is pretty easy and simple, isn't it? And if you're wondering how can we because in the previous method we could select the columns that we wanted, how can we do it over here? So I'll just show you. So from this, you can just go to your uh, our notepad, select the stuff that you want. Let's say I want title, or what you can do is rather uh, let's just let's go here. We have just select from these, right, columns. No, it's not giving us anything. No problem. Oh, my bad. Perfect. Use this. Select the stuff that you want to see. I want to see author. I'll give it here. I want to see title. Can I give it here? I want to see description. Then I want to see source name. What is the source name? Oh, it's the same source name. Okay. Source name. I would rather put this first, isn't it? Description, and then the last would be published, and that's what I want. How many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then just go ahead and run this. Source, author, title, description, published, that. Perfect. 97 by 5. And we had 97 by 5. All right. So yes, that's pretty much. We covered flattening nested JSON works, and just not that for sake of flattening JSON, we also worked on fetching data through API, so we also worked on that. So that is good, isn't it? So yeah. All right, then we have already covered, or we have already discussed, I would rather say, that handling of duplicate data, and now we have uh, worked on, working on JSON data as well. All right, then.